welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
I am very excited to talk about TikTok, something hopefully the audience is more familiar with. And we've spent a lot of the morning discussing all of these interesting technologies and convincing people to adopt them. But I find I have the opposite problem. Me and all my friends spend too much time on TikTok. So I would love to hear a little bit. I guess, Chris, we can start with you. You are at Prada Group now. And you have a really interesting story to me. We were talking backstage about your time when you were at Calvin Klein and how you had started the hashtag #MyCalvins thing when you were convincing brands to be part of Instagram. And now we've fast forwarded and we're seeing the same story sort of unfold with TikTok.
Yes.
Walk me through how TikTok fits into Prada's overall marketing strategy. What was the early conversations like?
Yes. So, I think with any brand, you're thinking about what are the modern channels where people are, because I think there was a time, for instance, even with Instagram, with even e-commerce going way back, people are like, that's not luxury, we shouldn't be there, all of that. But if you're a bit more forward thinking, when the time is right, you invest in the channel. And I think something in my past, I was part of the team that worked on my Calvins, and there was some lessons there that then we applied also to the Prada. And I think kind of where it started was we had Charlie D'Amelio at the show, 2019, right before the pandemic. And of course you have actors, actresses, all of kind of more traditional forms of celebrity. I will tell you, the models were way more interested in meeting Charlie D'Amelio. Mm-hmm. so this was...
As they should.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh, you...
Yeah. She's a UTA client.
So it was really like, aha. So it's not, it's a modern form of celebrities. So just like you work with somebody for fragrance ad, you work with somebody for TikTok, all of this. So it kind of started there. And then we started to dabble in TikTok in terms of media spend, creator activations, and then finally we felt we were ready to do a challenge, basically. Mm-hmm. So.
And Pranav, can you tell me from your point of view, how does UTA think about signing TikTok talent? And what are the things that you're looking for? Is it just about how many followers somebody has on TikTok, or is it about something more?
I wish there was a science, but honestly, they give us, great autonomy. So we look for, the buzzword at UTA is multi-hyphenates. So yeah, it might be easy to create a piece of content that goes viral and continue to do so, but what can you kind of do to, go off the platform? And do you want to act? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to write start a podcast? Do you want to screenwrite? Whatever, right? So we're looking for those kind of unique voices. Multi-hyphenates, we call them. But there's no science. But we do look at followership, engagement, all that.
Mm-hmm. And in an ideal world, of course, if a brand is launching a new TikTok campaign, they have the signed talent who's maybe working with them, in the case of the D'Amelios, and then hopefully it catches fire and it spreads something like the Prada Bucket Challenge.
Yeah. Yes.
Tell the audience what that was.
So the point is with these challenges or anything that you want to have a big reach is you have to have critical mass. Mm-hmm. So meaning is not like, something strange, like means you have to have a media budget, you have to have, many creators, and then you have to have, most importantly, a good idea. Mm-hmm. So actually...
That's the easy part, right?
So no, because we thought a lot about, of course, it was not the Prada Pants Challenge. That wouldn't be so interesting. Like, show us how you wear your pants. But it was more, the bucket was kind of iconic, resonated with audience. And then we actually thought, we did it internally. So I'm talking here myself, but the team did it actually. So thank you if you're watching in Milan. So basically you put the hat on, then changes your mood. And then also another important component, which we worked directly with TikTok on, which was great, is that the music, the drop. So it was a whole thing, the music. And then, of course, if you're communications, you're like, but that music is very expensive. so we found kind of an old track that was on something else that we owned, and then we used it. But it took 4 months to plan the whole thing, basically, with over 54 creators in many different countries, a substantial media budget amplified, and ended in 9.6 billion views, basically.
Were views the primary metric that you were measuring the success from, or were people buying more bucket hats? Because I have to wonder if that was part of the strategy, making maybe a perhaps more accessibly priced product in the Prada portfolio.
No, but it was actually. So, well, maybe I make ourselves sound more smart, but at first we were looking for a good idea. So that's kind of where it started. And then obviously bucket hats are core to Prada, and it was made sense in terms of the action and all of this. And then, we view TikTok primarily as upper funnel channel. So it's not a kind of conversion-based channel, let's say. So, but it's no coincidence that in Q3, the bucket hat moved to the number 2 most desired product on list.
It made me almost buy one.
Yes,
But then I was like, I don't look
me
good in
too.
a bucket
Actually,
hat.
I hate hats, but even I got a couple bucket hats.
Right. And Pranav, can you tell me a little bit about when you're pairing talent with a luxury brand, what are some of the things that you guys are looking for at UTA to help it make sense or to make it more likely to resonate with viewers?
I mean, listen, every client of mine across the agency, they're like, we want to work with, a luxury brand. That's always like the pie in the sky goal. But sometimes you gotta, work your way up to that level. So we're very kind of pragmatic with what brands we connect and, do these partnerships with. Is it going to move the needle? Like if if Nick, for example, right? I represent Nick, who just spoke. If he wants to grow his audience in a certain country or like a demographic, right? We're kind of strategic with what brand partnerships we do and activate on his social media to help move the needle with whatever goal, because every client has their own goal.
Do conflicts ever arise, or sort of competitors, competing brands sort of like bidding or vying for the same talent? Can you tell us all of the gossip?
Yeah, I mean, exclusivity terms are basically the main thing that we negotiate every day.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. The brands want to lock the talent in for like 5 years, and I'm like, no, 3 days. So
Chris, to that point, what would be fair, do you think, for the brand side? I don't know if you want to.
Yes, no.
He's like, forever. We want them forever.
Forever and for no money.
yeah.
Money doesn't matter, remember?
And that's why talent have agents. That's why they have agents.
Yes. No. So, but of course, if everybody's doing everything, then of course or you pick maybe key talent, creators, wherever, that is kind of becomes more of a face of the brand. So, but there's many different levels, let's say. So it's also a matter of also the talent, and it's kind of the thing with talent is it's a mutual exchange. So it's not like is about money, of course, but is more also about do we believe in them? Do they like us? All of this, and then something kind of organically usually grows is the point. So.
And typically these partnerships start with, Prada inviting Nick to a show in Europe, dressing him. It starts kind of pro bono, and then we work our way up to a larger partnership.
Yes, exactly.
And I've heard from talent as well. They really, especially those who are genuinely interested in fashion or whatever the sector they're genuinely interested in, they want to feel like they have some buy-in with the brand. So whether that means meeting Mrs. Prada or Raf or whoever the case the person is, or something, to kind of really feel like they understand and they're part of the process. They're not somebody who's just contractually obligated to be there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're always looking for, one-off social posts and hashtag ad. Everyone does that. We don't really like to just do those. It is our bread and butter, but we are looking for those larger multi-month partnerships.
Yes, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Because I think if your brand values is like marketing word, but is something that is interesting for both parties. If we believe in each other and there's alignment, then of course we look at longer term partnership is the point.
I want to drill in a little bit more to the technology part of TikTok. And so how does Prada think about social commerce opportunities? So for those of you in the audience who are watching at home who don't know, the ability to purchase directly through Prada rather than just to learn about the bucket hat and then leave the platform and go purchase somewhere else. Maybe you could talk a little bit about about how Prada thinks about
Yes.
that?
So there's two things basically, and we've seen these lessons from Instagram. So is basically because TikTok is launching beta, I think in the US, buy directly through TikTok, which is, I don't know, some sort of not wholesale model, but concession really. Oh, we've seen, maybe people don't do this, but then you get into question of attribution. So basically we know consumer behavior is like a bowl of spaghetti. So it does not, they go here, there, then maybe they search it, and then maybe they convert. So is an attribution window. So what you can see publicly, now we have our own attribution model, which is our own trade kind of thing that we do, but you can see it publicly that things like the bucket hat challenge really worked from a sales perspective. I mean, they're flying off the shelves, top of the list index. Now, the path that the consumer took from seeing it on TikTok to buying it either in the store or on the website, this is what you have to kind of unravel, basically. This is when you get into attribution modeling, basically. So.
And does Prada, there's a little piece of code that you can put on a brand's website called the Pixel, and what that does is tell the brand or marketers when people are coming from TikTok or whatever platform the Pixel is meant to indicate.
Yes.
So does Prada have like a TikTok Pixel?
Absolutely. So the Pixel is interesting because usually you choose attribution windows. So after they saw the ad within 30 days post-view or 14 days post-click, you choose your attribution window, basically. And then if we can track that they purchased, now there's GDRP, many different complex things. But basically, you can kind of say, okay, well, they saw the ad and somehow, after a certain amount of time, they bought it. But this is kind of not new model. It's something we do with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. So, but I think what's really interesting for brands is to see more the path that they take between when they saw that and when they bought it. And this is something that, is kind of the most important thing, the thing that all brands want to know.
And I think on the talent side, we don't have, we really don't know. After a deal is done, we don't know if Nick's, content is actually adding to the sales. But what we can do on the back end is see how many people are clicking the stickers on his Instagram stories, or how many people are swiping up when that was a thing.
Are those part of the contracts with brands to maybe share those metrics, or is it sort of like a goodwill thing because you want to work with the brand again in the future maybe?
No, typically it's in a contract that within, 48 hours, you share those screenshots. Yeah.
Are there any other components within the brand talent contracts related to TikTok content or campaigns that you think surprises you or surprises maybe the brands that you work with?
Just the amount of usage that they want, which I'm very protective over. I feel like brands should be paying talent to create and produce that piece of content, but then that fee should not include usage. Usage should be on top of that. Because if we're looking at it the talent's perspective, if he's working with Prada, right? But then he posts today, but then you have usage for 6 months, his face is now being blasted out on the internet with Prada's, namesake attached to the talent, and that will now take him out of the category to work with other brands. So I think that's always a really interesting part of our negotiations.
Which is also, the thing is it's not so different from traditional media, these kind of deals that we do in terms of usage, where, what country, where is it? So it's not such like a mystery, basically. So for us, it's a matter of negotiation, and we decide, basically.
I feel like we're having a kumbaya moment here on the couch, bringing two sides together.
You'll be nice to us next time.
I will.
Look at what we've accomplished today. Chris, one more question before we end here. I want to ask you, how has Prada's strategy to TikTok evolved since you've been there?
Well, when I got there, it was kind of new, but it's not new, but, as communications, you're always, something else. So it's something, no, but seriously. So then don't even get me started on China, because that's a whole other thing. But then, what I've learned over years is you have to be brave. So meaning, that doesn't mean not planning and all of that, but if you wait, then all of a sudden you're so late, it's not right. So we started with something, that was comfortable, and then we evolved, and then we did something big, and so now it's let's say is a critical part of our strategy, because that's where people are. So we as a brand have to embrace the modern channels, and that's what we do. So
well, we thank you so much, both of you, for being here today, and thank you for watching.
thank you.
Thank you.